Welcome back. We've considered Psalm 147 over the past couple of days. I would like to look at it one last time, now considering God's promise to fulfill his covenant, not just with Israel, but how he is faithful even to us who are part of the new covenant. Psalm 147. Praise Yahweh, for it is good to sing praises to our God, for it is pleasant, and praise is beautiful. Yahweh builds up Jerusalem. He gathers together the outcasts of Israel. He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. He counts the number of the stars, and he calls them all by name. Great is our Lord, and mighty in power. His understanding is infinite. Yahweh lifts up the humble. He casts the wicked down to the ground. Sing to Yahweh with thanksgiving. Sing praises on the harp to our God, who covers the heavens with clouds, who prepares rain for the earth, who makes grass to grow on the mountains. He gives to the beasts its food, and to the young ravens that cry. He does not delight in the strength of the horse. He takes no pleasure in the legs of a man. Yahweh takes pleasure in those who fear him, in those whose hope in his mercy. Praise Yahweh, O Jerusalem. Praise your God, O Zion, for he has strengthened the bars of your gates. He has blessed your children within you. He makes peace in your borders. He fills you with the finest wheat. He sends out his command to the earth. His word runs very swiftly. He gives snow like wool. He scatters the frost like ashes. He casts out his hail like morsels. Who can stand before his cold? He sends out his word and melts them. He causes his wind to blow and the waters to flow. He declares his word to Jacob, his statutes and his judgments to Israel. He has not dealt thus with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise Yahweh. Again, we are told and commanded to praise Yahweh because it's good to sing praises to him, and it's pleasant, and it's beautiful, because he is God. He is the creator. He is the one who created the heavens and the earth. He is the one who counts the stars. He knows how many stars there are because he created them, and not only that, he knows the name of every single one of them. Yahweh is marvelous in all of his ways. And we're told that he then takes pleasure, verse 11, in those who fear him, in those who hope in his chesed. It says mercy, but again, it's the word chesed, his faithful, loving kindness to the objects of his covenant. To those who hope, to those who trust in the faithfulness that God will be true to his promise. Just as we saw yesterday, as we then read from Jeremiah 31, that God would be true to his covenant with Israel, and how we have been able to see that come to fruition, how Israel became a nation again in 1948 after approximately 2,000 years, where mankind thought that God had changed his plan, how he had altered his covenant, how that he no longer was going to deal with Israel. But God doesn't change his covenant. He will not alter the thing that has gone out of his mouth. He did make a promise to Abraham. He did make a promise to David. He did make a promise to Israel that he would restore them. He would cause them to return back to their land that we read yesterday from Jeremiah 31, and he has done that. And only if you could destroy the covenants that he has made with the sun, the moon, and the stars, can you destroy the covenant that he made with Israel. And so God, again, talks about that new covenant that he would make with his people. And he talks about it again in Jeremiah 33 and reestablishes it again, that it is a part of something that he would establish, and that he then puts it back upon the covenants that he made with nature itself. And it is that covenant which Jesus talks about in his celebration, his Passover celebration with his disciples, that we refer to as the Lord's Supper or as communion, which when Jesus states, it says, Matthew 26, that as they were eating, Jesus took the bread, blessed it, and broke it, and gave it to the disciples, and said, "Take, eat, this is my body." Then he took the cup, and gave thanks, and gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you, for this is my blood of the new covenant, which is shed for many for the redemption of sin, for the remission of sins. But I say to you, I will not drink of the fruit of the vine from now on until the day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." Jesus stated that when he died, that his blood, that his sacrifice would be the sacrifice which would seal this new covenant that Jeremiah prophesied concerning. We then, who believe in him, who hope in his Khesed, in his faithful, loving kindness, need to understand that God has been true. God has been faithful in his covenant with Israel, just as he will be faithful in his covenant to you and I. And just as he has been faithful in his covenant to Israel, so he will be true to his covenant to you and I. Jesus is coming again, just as he declared to his disciples, as we read in Acts chapter 1, that as he went up into the clouds, so he will come back in like manner. Oh, child of God, you who fear him, you who hope in his Khesed, take confidence and rejoice and give him praise, because he is true to his promise, and he will return. And have a blessed day.